Okay, welcome to video 3 of the Beginner Trader Primer. In the last video, I gave you something to do because as a brand new trader, I know you're excited to just place some trades. So I gave you a safe way to just practice placing some trades, and I hope you're having fun with it. This video is going to be more about theory. So grab a pen, take some notes. I've put my notes up here on the screen because this is just more about mindset. It's about how to think about trading, how to control your own mind. This is not necessarily trader psychology, but it's more like beginner psychology. So, things that I would have wanted to tell myself in my first year of trading, in my first 3 months of trading, right at the beginning. So, the first thing I want to talk about is we all have a dream. The motivation to come to trading is because you have something you want to accomplish, and it's not even financial goals most of the time. It's, hey, I want to live in a nicer place. I want to take my family on vacation. Maybe it is Lambos. It's fine. If your goal is Lambos, that's totally okay. I really don't like making people feel bad about their goals, what they want to accomplish, whatever their dreams are, it's fine. Even somebody who comes to the market to gamble, hey, that's your thing, totally fine. I don't like gambling, but I don't hold it against you. That's not what we're here to do. We're not at this course to gamble. But if that's your thing, then go out and do it. It's totally fine by me. Um, so as I mentioned, paying down your credit card, a lot of people just want financial independence. They want to be able to ditch the 9 to 5, the 40 hours a week, and live their life on their own terms, maybe travel, spend time with family, whatever it is they want to do, garden, it doesn't matter. They just want to ditch the 9 to 5. If you're in that group, that was me. I totally understand that. But the next point is trading is not steady money. So the natural progression is to come to trading with the thought, well, I'm going to make a little bit of money every day in the markets. So you go to day trading and you're like, well, I'll just catch the morning open dip buy. Well, guys, the morning open dip buy doesn't work every morning. It works maybe half the mornings. Sometimes it'll go on a tear and it'll work every morning for 5 days straight, and then it won't work again for 2 weeks. That's the nature of day trading. So the thing I want you to take out of this is that trading is just simply not steady money. That's not the nature of the way that you make money. It's not the nature of trading. And since we're mostly used to earned income, that's been our entire experience. That's been the experience of our parents. It's like you get a little bit of money, you go and you show up, and they give you a little bit of money, and oftentimes it's barely enough to take care of your expenses. You're not getting much money, but it's a little bit and it's every day, every hour, every minute that you're there, you get a tiny little bit of money. And that's the experience that we're used to. So trading is 100% not like that. It's like the opposite of that. It's like you don't make steady money. You can put in work for free and not get anything for it. But when you get to a certain point, it's like totally the opposite of earned income in that you put a tiny little bit of work in for the potential to make a really outsized return, far more than your paycheck you would have got from earned income. So when we think about steady money or living off trading, it is more than possible, but you need to start thinking in terms of like annual quarters or even annually because trading it is all over the place. It's definitely not there's no strategy that just outputs steady money all the time safely. That never happens. Here's another common thought that I would have loved to correct on myself from day one is people tie up trading psychology with intuition. It's like when they're in day trading or any sort of trading, they think, well, the reason I can't magically execute, the reason why my mind isn't just magically understanding the next candle and where it's going to go in the chart is because my market psychology is not right. And because my market psychology is not right, I didn't take that entry when I was supposed to. I didn't take profits when I was supposed to. Okay, this cannot be further from the truth. Market psychology or trading psychology and intuition are almost completely unrelated. Have almost nothing to do with each other. There's only one small time after you're a consistently profitable trader that there's certain trading psychological things that can creep in and can creep in, not will creep in, not necessarily are going to creep in, but some people have some hangups that they need to get past, which affect their trading. It's a very small thing, though. Trading psychology is more like is something more where you hit like $100,000 in profit and then you have like a $20,000 drawdown and then you get back to $100,000 in profit and then you have a $20,000 drawdown. It's like, well, why? What is your mind doing here? It's doing something to sabotage you. And again, it's just a very small thing. Intuition, on the other hand, is built through intentional, structured practice. What does that mean? It means that you pick a strategy, you track the strategy, you review the strategy regularly, you refine how you're doing, the results. Sometimes, most of the time, there's not anything to change or adjust. But sometimes you'll notice something and you might want to retest it and play with it, maybe a new indicator, maybe certain market conditions, and you might want to play with it based on the data set that you've already collected in your spreadsheet from your forward testing, from your constantly tracking. That reviewing and refining and pay attention to the market and trading your strategy, combined with experience in the markets over time leads to intuition to where it's not anything like woo woo. It's not anything magical. It's just human psychology. Price trades down to a certain point, and most of the time it recovers from there. Or most of the time when it trades down to a certain point under these macro conditions, the price just drops out. And so it starts to really feel intuitive. Like I really kind of knew that was going to happen. And it's not a woo-woo magical thing. It's just that you've seen this before. That's all it is. You've tracked it, you've done a bunch of research, you've studied this strategy, you've studied the markets, and now it's kind of like, wow, the markets don't have anything new to throw at you. That's all intuition is. So trading psychology is not going to give you magical intuition so that you just magically know where the market's going to go next. That is a common belief that's kind of implied out there. Discipline is way overhyped. Discipline, okay, first things first. Don't fight yourself to try and have discipline. Discipline is something that comes. Let it come. Discipline comes primarily from trusting your strategy and having experience in the markets. So, discipline will come over time when you've studied a strategy enough and you start to understand that this works and that doesn't. Even on like a subconscious level, your subconscious all of a sudden starts to feel this is safe following this strategy that I've forward tested and I've developed edge on. That's safe. Taking random trades, getting in too early, or staying in too long, that's not safe. So you'll notice that your conscious brain can start to think things, but your subconscious will act in a different way. And that's not necessarily, I mean, you could call it some psychology. All it is that your subconscious is constantly trying to keep you safe, and you need to use your conscious brain to train your subconscious about what is safe. And again, you do that through forward testing, through tracking all of your trades, constantly reviewing and refining and going back, looking at the charts, seeing how it worked out, seeing what did work over a set of 10 or 20 trades and what didn't work over that set of 10 or 20 or more trades. That's all that is. Emotions are part of the journey. You can't fight your emotional state. I mean, you can. Everyone says, "Oh, I had FOMO," and they're beating themselves up over FOMO. Guys, FOMO is part of the experience of learning. Over trading, revenge trading. I mean, you don't need to give in. No one's saying that you need to throw your laptop across the room or anything like that. But at the same time, if you look back on it, you're like, ah, FOMO got me. Yes, it did, because you're a new trader, and that is okay. It is just part of the experience. If you fight your emotions all of the time when you're learning and you make learning miserable, then you are not going to stick with trading. You're never going to get to consistent profitability because you're going to hate trading. So stop making yourself the bad guy, or don't start making yourself the bad guy. Just let it be. It's okay that you overtraded. Now let's go back again to the spreadsheet. Let's log the overtrades. Let's make a note in our journal, which I'm going to talk about shortly, of what we did. And let's just really internalize and think about how this is what we did and it led to this not favorable result without attaching a whole bunch of emotion to it. And you're like, you have to learn the difference between having emotion and attaching emotion. Because having emotion is something that just comes up. You just get frustrated. You've been trying to control your emotions, but five straight trades went against you, and now you're having emotions. There's not a choice there. We probably have to admit to ourselves that we have less control over our emotions than we'd like, and I'll touch on that later. But that's a case of having emotions. Attaching emotions is when you recognize after the fact that you had FOMO or you overtraded or some sort of less than desirable thing. And then you really start to beat yourself up for it. And you're like, if I just feel bad enough, I'll never do that again. You're right. You'll never do that again. In fact, you'll stop trading. That's what'll happen because no one's making you show up here every single day. No one's making you show up. So if it's miserable, eventually you're not going to be able to fight through it and you're just going to stop trading. So you do have to try and make it a pleasant enough experience. And part of that is allowing yourself to have some negative experiences and learning from them because it's a positive thing if you learn from it. It's a positive thing if you internalize, hey, I did this and it led to a negative outcome. But if I don't do that next time and I do this, it'll probably lead to a positive outcome. Hmm. Some of you are quite anxious and excited to make money. And now, some of you probably have some very real reasons why you need to get profitable as soon as possible. You need to make money in the stock market to supplement your income as soon as possible. And I respect that. Um, but as much as you need it, it just doesn't work that way. I'm sorry to tell you. That doesn't mean you should give up or get discouraged. The way that I, the metaphor that I use is of taking a road trip. If you're gonna get in the car and you're gonna take a road trip, and it's going to be 500 miles. It's going to take you all day to get there. And you're excited. It's a place you've always wanted to go and you're really excited to go there. Do you ask every 5 minutes, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Do you pay so much attention to where you're going, the destination, that you stop paying attention to driving and then go off the road into some valley or ditch or something like that, and then you never get to the destination? Because it's a very real metaphor that happens to traders. They pay so much attention to getting consistently profitable, so much attention to finding that golden strategy, that gem, hidden gem of a strategy, that treasure that they don't have to put much effort in. They don't have to do anything. They just pick the strategy and it starts working and they're rich next month. They pay so much attention to the destination that they go off the road on the journey to getting consistently profitable and they never get to consistently profitable. So we need to like refocus the excitement. It's definitely not a bad thing. And as that's why I brought up the dream earlier, is because the dream creates excitement. Excitement can create going off the road, but it doesn't have to if we redirect it. One of the ways we redirect it is by journaling. That's why I said you're going to have emotions. You are going to. There are emotions that are going to come up that aren't you're not necessarily in control of. They just come up. How are you going to deal with those emotions? Well, all successful traders and mentors recommend journaling. Especially as a new trader, you need to journal out those emotions. So you're frustrated, you just say it. No one else is going to read it. Just say it. Whether it's in the chat GPT or whatever you're using, or it's just on a Word document. I mean, then when I was beginning, there was no chat GPT, so I just put it in a Word document, still on my computer here somewhere, most of them. And you just need to say, I'm frustrated or I'm elated. I just won twice in a row. I feel like I got this trading thing and I'm probably going to be consistently profitable next week. It's okay. Even if you're not going to be consistently profitable next week, it's okay to just put it in the journal. Then you've got all these emotions. How do we redirect? You need to end your journaling off. This is what I recommend. You journal however you want, but this is what I recommend. End your journaling off with the next step. What is the next small step that you're going to take tomorrow to continue down this path of learning to trade? Even if it's just something simple like I'm going to show up and I'm going to look for another trade. If that's all it is, then do it. But what it does is it channels that energy into the next productive thing that you're going to focus on to continue down this path. Um, Last thing is you can do this. Uh, in my Path to Consistently Profitable series that I did on the Edge Foundry channel here, the first video talks about motivation, how you need to keep your motivation up. And one of the things that I did was, yeah, I'd watched YouTube videos. I watched a lot of YouTube videos like most of you do. But at some point, I'd have to put the YouTube videos away because I'd be frustrated or discouraged or something. And I would honestly feel like maybe this is not possible. Maybe I can't do this. And so I had several books that I would go to. I'd either listen to them on Audible or I had physical books that I would read of retail traders, some who I was familiar with, some that I wasn't familiar with, but retail traders and their story, their journey, how they made it, and they are having success. They are living off their trading. So I would recommend watching that video. Um, maybe borrowing those books from me. You know, if you can download those books on Audible, if you can track some traders who have done this for sure, then it helps to keep up that motivation. I didn't put it on the notes here, but joy. Joy is an ally here. You cannot stay frustrated. I mean, you're going to get frustrated, you're going to get discouraged. But you've always got to try to come back to enjoying trading. There has to be something about it that you enjoy, whether it's even if you're tracking for, even if you're forward testing and it's just looking at the results that you're getting. It's just seeing how the strategy is evolving. Okay, I've got 30 trades recorded, just small beginnings. So you got 30 trades recorded, and I can see that I've got a 60% win rate on this. Well, that's a good start. That's a great start. And I'm sure if you keep working with it, you might be able to get at a higher win rate. Or maybe it's not a higher win rate that you want. Maybe you're happy with that win rate, but you want to be able to make more money on your winning trades versus the money that you lose. And you want to keep increasing that ratio. Yeah, whatever it is, find something that you enjoy. And we'll talk about that periodically from time to time because I think the two things that really take a lot of aspiring traders out is discouragement and lack of joy. I think they can get discouraged. They don't have enough support. They don't know a clear path of how they are getting there, and they can't set milestones for them. They can't say, okay, I've done this, so that means I'm probably here in the journey, which means I'm 15% of the way to getting consistently profitable. Um, so then they get discouraged and they can't get past it. And the other thing is they just lose joy. Like sometimes trading can be slow or it's just not working out the way that you had hoped and you just lose joy. You're just frustrated all the time, you're upset. So I would say definitely protect being happy while you're trading. And you don't have to spend a lot of time each day doing it. Just check in with the markets for half an hour, 20 minutes, maybe 45 minutes, whatever it is. The point of trading is that you don't have to spend a lot of time with it, but just a little bit every day. And so try to make that time enjoyable. In the next video, we're gonna go back to that simple trend following strategy that I taught you in video two. And I'm gonna show you how to practice. I'm gonna show you how to use the back testing spreadsheet that I made for you as a forward testing spreadsheet just to record what you've done.